Welcome to our world. Won't you come on in? Waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
There are people that are saying that the one child he had with it somebody else, and that's why he's using it.
Are we starting this?
Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. What
Yes.
a lovely intro. I bet you're all wondering why.
Explain to the listening audience.
Two things. The first thing is we have a special guest on the podcast today. Aunt Jojo, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm going to be laughing through it with
That's
these
okay.
two. So
That's okay. We always wanted a live audience. This is as close as we're getting so far. So this is Jim. This is your sister?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Great. So she is our guest today, and we will be discussing. I should actually say it like this. We will be gossiping because that's what we're doing.
true.
We are gossiping about Harry and Meghan of the royal family of England fame. Yes. Or
She's-
not.
The reason is because Aunt Jojo, who she will henceforth be known as,
That's her name. What do you mean?
is pretty much an expert on this subject.
A self-identified
I'm kind of
expert.
like a jack of all trades. No, really more a jack of some trades because there are a lot of trades I don't know at all.
So you're a Jim of some
But
trade.
I am. But Aunt Jojo, as she henceforth will be known, is pretty much an expert on all the royal gossip.
We shouldn't
No.
oversell this here or anything. Obviously we're not experts in this, but you specifically have a great interest in this, and I have a pretty big interest, and Dad, you don't care at all.
No, I don't
Okay,
even know this.
just to clarify.
And to clarify, I listen to the YouTube and podcasts
Mhm.
while I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm no expert. I just hear what's being said. That's all.
And you working, by the way, your job does involve the royal family.
No, it doesn't.
doesn't.
Don't
Can't we
lie.
just tell
Okay.
people that it does?
No. Even if that were true, we could not say that.
Though I do support them.
Yes, the royal family.
Well, technically, Harry and Meghan aren't royal anymore.
Okay, so yes,
Harry will always be royal.
true.
Meghan, no. I don't think she ever was.
Oh, you tell him, Aunt Jojo.
The royal
So
flush.
Nice, very nice. I'm sure that's the first time that's ever been used. So you are recording, right? I always like to make sure, since those 2 times that we've recorded entire episodes.
I believe it is recording.
Great. Okay. So to clarify, because I'm sure there are some listeners out there, I know we actually have a good amount of international listeners according to like our podcast data, which is super interesting. So maybe you all, like the international listeners, have a good idea of what's going on. But to anyone that doesn't know what we're talking,
No, that's really good is when you mention that. So if anyone wants to comment on any of this, they can. How would they do that?
He's just looking at me expectantly, like, tell the people. Okay, we'll go through this again very quickly before we get into the episode. You can, however you're listening, whichever podcast player of choice, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart Radio, you can comment there. You can also comment on YouTube, or you can email us at existentialcrisespod@gmail.com, which is in the show notes. You can also text or leave us a voicemail at 407-584-7543. And if you play us a voicemail, we will probably play it on the show unless you tell us not to or ask us not to. And then we'll think about it, and then maybe we won't play it on the show. No, I'm just kidding. We won't play it if you ask us not to. And I think that's it. Is that everything?
I have no idea, but it sounded good.
Okay, great. All right. So to get into this, let's begin with the royal family of Britain, England, whatever the difference. I still am not sure what the difference is.
The United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom. Okay, great. See, the expert. So what has happened? We're not gonna get into the whole royal family today. We could maybe do that another time. Specifically, we're going to focus on Harry and Meghan. Anyway, so there's this royal family, long line of royals over in the United Kingdom, okay? And Prince Harry is the youngest son of the current king, right? So
The monarch.
Sure. Who we don't really like him, but
I just wanted to say that.
Okay. What happens is Harry, this is however many years ago, I don't even remember when this was, what year this was. He starts dating Meghan Markle, who is an actress and whatever. Long story short, they are now married and they have 2 children.
They just had their 7th year anniversary.
Married.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they've been married for 7 years now. Okay. There is, however, a lot of drama that goes on with this. So I'll start with my first. I didn't even really know anything. I knew stuff about the royal family. I didn't really even know anything about Harry and Meghan and all that until literally the first time I ever saw Meghan and Harry, I guess, together, but Meghan in general, was when she did the Oprah interview about the royal family and racism and getting kicked out and all that stuff. That was literally my first impression of Meghan and Harry. I was confused. I didn't really understand what was going on. At first, I was kind of like, oh, that the royal family should not have done that to them, whatever. But then it's kind of like the more that you learn, yes.
I didn't even know that Meghan Markle was black.
Okay, all right.
No, I bet you a
I
large
agree.
percentage.
The Hallmark movies,
Yeah.
when she was on, I thought she was Hispanic,
Right,
honestly. And she was very good on Hallmark.
right.
I have to give her that.
I don't think anyone's very good on Hallmark.
Okay, that's not very nice.
Go away.
But so now it's just a whole thing because what are they? They're still part of the royal family, but they're not. What are they? Do you remember?
They decided,
Right.
They weren't kicked out. They decided to leave. They didn't want to have royal responsibilities.
Yes.
And honestly, I think that she wanted to leave because she wanted to make money.
Right.
She was told, I know I saw this by the Queen, that she could continue acting.
Mm-hmm.
But she said no at the time.
That the Queen told her that she could continue
Yes,
if she wanted
could.
to?
That was before they got married. That's what on one of the things that I read.
Okay.
And I've heard it a few different places.
So then what, because...
They are now the Duke and Duchess
Thank you.
of Sussex.
That's what the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, which is actually really funny because their whole thing that I've seen, their whole thing is that they want to step away from the royal family and stay out of the spotlight. And in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of a lot of people, maybe not a majority, but a lot of people, it seems like since they did that, all they've done is put them more, I'll say Meghan more than Harry, because I don't really know how much he's actually, like how much of a hand he actually has in this, just putting herself in the spotlight to talk about how unfair she was treated and, you know, everything that happened and all that. And it's like, okay, so do you want to be in the spotlight or do you not? And then she uses her name. She signed one of her, well, there were 2 things, because she has the show on Netflix that she was talking with, what's her name? Mindy Kaling. You saw this clip, I'm sure, where they're talking about the kids and all that and what she used to do and shows and all. And Mindy Kaling says about, oh yeah, it's crazy because I don't think we think about Meghan Markle eating Jack in the Box. And Meghan goes, you know, it's funny you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex, right? And it's like, what? So is that what you want to be? What do you want to be? Because I thought that you didn't want to have anything to do with them. And then after that, I'm sorry, now I'm thinking of stuff.
Okay.
After that, like a couple weeks after that, she sent, I don't know, some kind of package to her friend. And she signed it, the Royal Duchess of Sussex or whatever. And it's like, okay, what do you want to be then?
Do you know, just a side note,
Yes.
Duchess is a very popular or relatively popular name for a female dog.
Okay.
Okay, technically,
Yes.
if you want to get into technical name,
I do.
the name that she would have taken from her husband
Mm-hmm.
as the second son, because there was an agreement that was made, other than the one that would become the king, because it's not used. It's Windsor for king.
Right.
Harry's last name, technically, from what I've seen, is Mountbatten Windsor.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So technically, that would be her last name.
Yeah.
When they were leaving, they signed, or I believe they signed an agreement. They made an agreement with the Queen. They would not use HRH
Mm-hmm.
as a means of making money.
Right.
They were not to use it at all,
Right.
according to the things that I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
And the gift that she sent to a friend that she posted a picture of online is signed HRH.
Yeah.
Sussex is the county that he is Duke of.
Yeah, that's not
It's
even
not a last
it's
name.
not even the last name.
Yeah.
So when she said that on the show, it's like, okay, that's technically your title, if you want it still, but that's not what your name is. So her calling you Meghan Markle, you should have corrected her to
Mountbatten Windsor.
Mountbatten Windsor if that's what you were trying to do. So it's like, it's just very confusing because she keeps saying about how she, or maybe not anymore because now she's doing a ton of stuff and shows and podcasts and all that. But it's like she, for the longest time, was saying that she just wanted to step away from the spotlight and not have everybody talking about the royal family and just live her life. And it's like, that's not what you want.
She's been doing all of the talking about the royal family.
Exactly.
And she's been, according to what I'm seeing, trying to copy what Princess Catherine does.
Oh, yep. Yep.
I mean, as far as wearing clothing, except it does not look as good on her.
Yes.
And that's not an insult. It's just that the fitting is horrible. She just does not look good in it.
Don't they all wear clothing?
Okay.
Go away.
You're doing great. That reminds me, though, there was also a clip that I saw of Meghan. I don't know. It was like a reading or something. She was reading to children and referred to herself as like the Duchess of Sussex or something like that. Maybe that's not right. I don't remember, but something like that. And then it showed right after that a clip of Catherine introducing herself to the children as Catherine. She was just like, "I'm Catherine," and like no titles, just like as if she were a normal person, which she definitely is not. So it's like, I mean, she was a normal person, not anymore. You know. Anyway, we don't have to get into all that stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't live off the title.
Right. No.
She is, but she doesn't have to.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's frustrating because I think a lot of people that are backing up Meghan and like in support of her either don't really understand the whole history that's there, or they're just kind of going off of one thing that they've heard Meghan say that they like latched onto. Because I remember one of the things that I had first heard, besides the Oprah interview when I'd seen her, was about when they were pregnant with Archie, their son. And she was saying about how the royal family was talking about how they were concerned that he was going to be like black when he was born. And so then I remember a lot of people being on Meghan's side at the time and saying,
it's
well,
because
that's
of the way they
racist.
worded it, though. Because honestly, if you want to get technical, they were just wondering what his skin tone would be.
Right.
It wasn't that they were offended that it would be white or black, olive, whatever color.
Right.
They were just wondering. It was just an honest question. Over here in America, if that question was asked, it would be highly offensive.
Yes.
Over there, it was just like a conversation.
Right. Just kind of like a thought that you're having.
Yeah. I mean, just like if you were saying a baby's coming, like your sister's.
Yeah.
I wonder what color eyes the baby will have.
Right.
I mean, that's more or less from what I'm reading, what this was about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and look at the different color eyes that we have.
Yeah.
I've got green eyes, you know, so
I
it could
hate
be.
people with green eyes.
Okay. Well,
I've
that's not
always
nice.
known that.
Hey, another side note. So on Instagram, right? Meghan's account on Instagram.
Yes.
Meghan's account. First of all, it's Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, right? Is what it says.
Yep.
And of course, there are two websites linked, and both of them are shopping sites.
Yes.
So she has 2.9 million followers, and so what is her? What's her real goal here?
Exactly.
Well, not only that, but there was jam that she was selling,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from one of the podcasts that
Right.
have failed, where she had orders that were on back order that weren't being filled. This jam that she was selling, this was way in the beginning. From what they were saying, was really expensive for one jar because it was supposed to be a collector's jar.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, talking about like $45, $46 a
That's
jar.
insane.
That's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
there were people that ordered them that haven't received them yet
Jeez.
because she was giving this jam
I
to
see.
celebrities.
Mm-hmm. As like a marketing thing. So is that not using her name, the
Yes.
royal name though? So that's what she's not supposed to be doing.
Right, but Meghan does what Meghan wants to do.
Well, that's
I
what it
mean,
seems like. And
I mean, even now, honestly, now this is my thought. It's not proof. I'm not saying that she was, but all
Yeah.
that went through my mind from a lot of the things that I saw, even with the Queen, okay, when she was alive, it almost was, I mean, if you look at some of the pictures from the wedding, from different times when she was on the balcony with them,
Mm-hmm.
she looked like she was upset that Kate was ahead of her. She almost, at times, she looked like she was upset because the Queen was ahead of her.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, but it just looked like she thought she was going to be queen. And I'm not saying that it's true. It's just images speak 1,000 words. And I think in the end, if you look at some of the pictures that are there, the Queen doesn't look happy with her.
No, yeah, I completely agree. And I think because when you were saying that, that made me think of when Harry and Meghan did that Netflix special, the however many episodes that was. I had seen the Oprah interview before that, and I hadn't really formed an opinion yet of them and her and the whole situation. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it and see what's there. And the whole thing, I think, is super cringy in general. But the one scene where they're sitting on the couch and she's talking about basically how, like, stuffy and outdated all of these practices are that the royal family has. And you can argue that all day, and maybe that's a valid argument, but it's the way that things are, you know? And so it's kind of like, I think because then she goes on in that scene, she's talking about what you have to do when you meet the Queen and all this stuff and how you have to curtsy. And in that scene, I think is when I started not to like her because she just like completely is mocking the way that you're supposed to meet the Queen. And you can see on Harry's face, like he's very uncomfortable because she's talking about like his family and what he knows and all this. And she's just like making a joke of it. And I was very uncomfortable watching it. I was like, you are really cringy right now
Don't
doing
you think
this.
a lot of people appreciate tradition?
Right.
The
Yeah.
tradition, like they have reverence for it.
Yeah.
And
as
she
opposed
should
to
have
like her.
she should have known ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
that this was part of what she would have to do.
Exactly.
Because she had
That's what you sign up for.
she had a dream board that she was putting pictures before she met Harry. You know, she didn't know anything about him, but she had this dream board.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, she knew she was looking into before she
Mhm.
wanted to be like, and I can't think of the name now.
It's okay. With them or
Before Queen Elizabeth,
right.
before her father was king,
Mhm.
his brother was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The woman now I sound terrible.
No, you don't. There are a lot of
You
names
know,
in the royal family.
the-
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, but she was an American too. And she
I don't remember who this is.
Grace?
No. She met the king when she was married and she got a divorce and there was a big scandal because he wanted to marry her, that he abdicated, he
Oh,
gave up
yes.
the title.
Okay.
You know who I mean.
I know exactly who you're
You
talking
can't
about
think of her name though.
because I watched The Crown. So, yes, I do know. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't remember her name. No.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to the book and I don't think listening to the book that was written about them,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was that bad.
Yes.
I think she went through a lot. I also think that Meghan was following everything about
Right.
them
Right.
and wanted to be like her.
Right. It's funny that you said about the vision board and all that stuff because I completely forgot about that because you'll see in interviews she'll say that she didn't know anything about the royal family. She didn't even know who Harry was. And then we come to find out what her friends, I guess, or former friends or something had talked about how, no, she had this whole vision board. Like, she knew about them. She knew like all the stuff that she needed to, which is really creepy and weird and all that.
Well, the weird thing is she makes friends
Mm-hmm.
that she can use to get further ahead.
Right. Yeah.
When she's finished with them, she's done with them. That's it. I mean, that's what it seems like, because she just moves along like a butterfly,
Right.
Yeah.
Stings like a bee.
Stings like a bee. Yeah, I guess so.
He's got to get those words in.
I also think it's interesting because kind of a similar thing, I think you can argue that she, in a lot of ways, is using what happened with Princess Diana to manipulate Harry, because
Oh, that's another thing.
there's this one, I don't even remember which, maybe this was in the Netflix thing, this one where she's talking and she says about all she thought in that moment, when it was with Archie, when they were not worried, but when they commented about what is his skin color, that she said all I could think was, Princess Diana and car crash or whatever she said. And so how is that not emotionally manipulative to Harry, who had to live through that?
It goes back farther than that.
All right, explain it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. According to what I heard on podcasts.
Yeah, let me clarify. This is all hearsay. This is all things. This is our opinion. That we don't know. We don't know anything. Go ahead.
Okay.
So we don't get sued.
They said, well, it's things that I've heard online that have been going around, that she, when she met Harry, had worn Princess Diana's perfume.
No.
Talking about
I don't know, she
manipulation.
didn't.
Yes, she did. You can look it up. Yes,
Dad,
she
look
did.
this up. Fact check this while you're over there.
Yes, because it was
That's
on several
insane.
podcasts that she wore this perfume before she met him.
That's certifiably insane.
Yeah. It wasn't that
I'm
she was
uncomfortable.
wearing it from what they made it sound. And this was from actually possibly the friend that introduced them.
Gosh, bad vibes, bad vibes. Let's back up though, because we kind of completely skipped over we were talking about the children for a second. So what there's a theory that they're not their children?
You know what? There are theories that, and actually there was somebody that said her ex-husband or brother.
Her ex-husband? Was she married?
Yes, she was married before. Yes, she was. Yes.
What?
Yes, she was.
I don't know anything.
Yes, she was.
Okay.
And he's not saying a lot. There was something that just recently came out about him that she had said she couldn't have children. Her brother had said that she had had an operation.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, these are, like I said, things that are online that I was listening to.
Right.
And it was an interview with the brother, too. I mean, the ex-husband will not go online. This is hearsay, definitely from him.
Yeah.
But they said that she could not have children.
That's interesting.
They're saying, there are people that are saying, and don't ask me names because I don't remember other than Lady C.
Lady C, that's the main one that you listen to?
I listen to a lot of them, but she kind of stays in your mind.
Okay.
I like her.
Yeah.
But they say that as far as Archie, there are different things. They think that it's possible that they used a surrogate because he looks so much like him, or that there is somebody that he got pregnant and that she had planned. Now, this is all hearsay. I'm saying this again. She had agreed to claim the child as hers.
Oh, gosh.
And if it's true, it's something they're afraid that she can use against the royal family because they agreed with it.
Right.
If it's true, and I don't know if it is.
Yeah, that's definitely a big gossip thing. Yes.
When are they getting divorced? When will Harry figure out that Meghan Markle has been playing him all along like a fiddle?
So is that what you think?
I'm asking the question.
Is that your opinion on
the
this? The
Times of India did report on the perfume. Okay, that reliable source. And there are others too. Here's one from the Royal Observer. Okay. And I don't know, maybe that is a very good source for this. But will Harry ever figure this out?
I think he is figuring it out.
That's what, yeah, you said that. You
I
think he's
do.
starting to.
I do, because I think he's losing a lot of himself.
Right.
I
And missing his
honestly-
family.
Well, or is he just a
That
jerk?
too.
Or is he just a jerk too? Like,
I-
why do we just, I don't know, give him the benefit of the doubt? Like, oh, poor Harry, he's
Okay,
wonderful, and
wait a
Meghan
minute. I'm
Markle
not
has just
saying
done
that
this.
he's wonderful. I mean, I think that there are a lot of guys that think with an extremity. I'm not going to go into details.
Harry was known as like a playboy and a partier and all of this stuff before he and Meghan got married.
But I do think that she's a user.
What do you mean?
I
Of
think
drugs?
that
I'm just kidding.
no. I think that she's a user. I think she knows how to play people.
I agree. I think she's very
Like a fiddle.
emotionally
Mhm.
manipulative. That's what, because I don't know a lot about him in general. That's all I know is, and I don't even know specifics, but I've just seen in things that like before they were together, he had this whole party life. That's what he was, like the party
He
boy.
did, but he also was in charge of different charities that he was good at.
Yes, and I was going to argue that when you said that, but then I was thinking, okay, but everybody in the royal family is kind of like assigned to a charity and assigned to stuff that they have to
But
go to.
this was one that he really liked, that has now been messed up because of.
Oh, by her.
I mean, the woman that's in charge of that charity.
Mm-hmm.
There's an image, and I wouldn't be able to pronounce her name if I remembered it even. But there was a video that showed her. They were receiving an award for the charity.
Mm-hmm.
She's the CEO or president of this charity. He was there. Meghan wasn't supposed to be, but she showed up,
Of course.
and they were receiving an award. This woman was standing next to, or she was supposed to be standing next to Harry, I think.
I think I saw this.
You saw it.
I think so.
Where Meghan made her go underneath
Yes.
to go on the other side of her, like she was receiving the
Yes, so that
award.
she could be like in the middle.
And it's almost like she dreamed of Oscars or whatever, and this was her chance to receive an award,
Yeah.
which she would never in acting.
It makes you feel,
ouch.
It makes you feel kind of sorry for her, doesn't it?
I did at points.
I here's the thing though. I think like because if that's what you want is the fame and attention, you are part of the royal family. Like marrying into the royal family, getting with Harry. That is you. You now have the fame and all that. You could have very easily taken the route that Princess Catherine took and just like flowed with it and took what you were given and like been in the spotlight when you needed to and
Yeah.
just like
Well, why
gone
did
with
she
the
even-
flow.
And why did she even need that? She was already a model on Deal or No Deal. Why
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
that?
I forgot about that too.
Hey,
Why
now
wasn't
that
that
one she
enough
didn't
for
like.
her?
Come on, give her credit for that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
she didn't want that.
But she was on
Okay.
Suits. That's
She
where a lot
didn't
of
want
people
it.
know her
No,
from.
no,
I've
no,
never
hold
seen
on.
that.
She
Hold
was
on,
a
we
side
can't let that
actress
go.
in Suits.
What?
You say she didn't want it, okay? No one forced her. It's not like they
No, but
physically
no.
grabbed her and said, "Here, you're going to be
If-
on stage," and you
No, but
she complained about it,
The
after
only
she had
thing
made
is
the money and
to
everything.
defend her, however, there are jobs that you took because you took a job that you not necessarily liked, but you
Yes.
took it because you wanted to get paid.
And to
Give
get
her
like your
credit
foot
for
in the
that.
door and all that,
Exactly.
I don't think that's a fair argument.
I don't think
there
so
are plenty
either.
of jobs that I've taken for whatever reason that I can look back and say like I did not like that and I'll complain about it. So I don't think that's a good argument.
That's true. Me
stay
too.
Stay in your corner over there.
I mean,
I'm just
seriously,
kidding.
you have to give her something there, because I'm not going to completely. There are YouTube videos of people that attack her for everything.
Right, yeah.
They've
Stone
played-
her.
They've played clips of her podcast that when they were playing it, I thought, I might listen to it.
Right.
But they're attacking her on the first one. I think it might get boring that you feel, no, I don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
But I can't attack her for that podcast because it might have been something that was interesting, not something that everybody wanted.
I think, okay, because are you talking about the one that was a couple years ago that they whatever it was called.
Where
I
she
don't
was
remember.
doing
Where she was interviewing
fruit
people.
salad and
Oh no,
no, that was before that.
wait, no, I'm talking about the one where she because there's one that I had listened to at least one of the episodes
Yeah.
where she interviewed, I think it was Serena Williams maybe, and I remember I listened to that a couple of years ago.
Was that the founder one?
Maybe.
Or was that
What?
because founder came after?
Okay, anyway, but I remember because I listened to that episode and because kind of same thing, it was around the time when I didn't know a lot about her and I'm still trying to figure out. And
Okay.
my issue with that was it was like, okay, obviously you're Meghan Markle, which is now kind of a very popular name in general. I get that. But you're talking to the Serena Williams, like
Okay,
an
I know what you're
absolute
talking about.
queen, an absolute like goat in her field, okay, like tennis and all that. And as I'm listening to this, every couple of minutes, Meghan's just like, she finds a way to turn the conversation back to her, like to herself and to talk about herself.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'm sorry. It's not that we don't care. You know, we get it. You have royal family things and Prince Harry and all that. I totally get it. But like, you're talking to Serena Williams. Can we hear more from her? And
Yeah.
like, you're not. My biggest issue with her, and maybe I would love her if like Meghan, if I met her in person. I feel like she tries so hard to portray that she is this relatable character, and I'm sorry, but she's not. I have not watched the new Netflix show where she's like cooking in her fake house and all of that.
See,
which
that's
is not
the one that I'm
relatable,
talking
right?
about.
But when you are making like taking the time to make these like little designs for your waffles for your children before they go to school and all this, and you're talking about how it's the easiest thing and it makes their day, and it's like, number one, you don't do that every day. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Nobody does all that every day. Nobody does. Number two, you have, I mean, I'm not a parent, obviously, but you're making it sound like it's the easiest thing in the world to take like an extra 10 minutes to do this design for your children's breakfast, okay? Parents don't have that kind of time.
And for kids that young, they don't really care.
They don't really care. They don't have that kind of time. But then she's talking about stuff like that and making it seem like, oh, this is, you know, so easy and so beautiful. And
But
then in a podcast...
looking at the show, however, it sounded interesting to me, who is not a parent.
Well, that's
just
valid.
Watching it. You see what I'm saying?
That's valid. But
I mean, as far as those podcasts that you were talking about with Serena Williams and others, it seemed like anyone she had on, like her hair designer or whatever.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't listen to all those.
It was like everything was about her.
Yeah.
And if you have people on, you should ask them questions about themselves, too.
Right.
I mean,
right.
That's just a going conversation.
Yes.
To me, as an outsider, since I have zero interest in this, it sounds like she just wanted to be famous.
Yes.
Period.
I
Her
agree.
goal was to be famous, and this was the quickest route to fame.
I
and
agree.
now she wants to take advantage of that with her podcast and her cooking show and
she
all
also,
that.
So
she
I
wants
was,
the best of both worlds,
yes,
basically.
There was a podcast recently, this was a couple of weeks ago, that she, not her podcast, she was in a guest on someone else's podcast, and everybody's making fun of it because it's the same thing. It's like, you're not relatable. She's talking about her morning routine and like getting the kids up and making the fancy breakfasts and then taking them to school. She's like, well, except on days that I don't take them to school. Sometimes, like if the nanny's taking them to school and all this, it's like, okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there, okay? Because you say that so nonchalantly, as though it's like, oh yeah, on the days when your nanny's taking your children, do you have more time to do this stuff? Nobody has a nanny, okay? The people that are listening to this podcast, none of them have nannies.
Yes.
No one knows what you're talking about. So, like, stop trying to make it seem like you're this relatable, like, every woman type of person. You're not. You don't stand for anyone. You're not talking for me. You're not talking for, like, parents everywhere.
You have a nana.
Gosh. Anyway, I have a headache.
Close.
I don't know. I think in general, because we should probably wrap it up here. In general, so final thoughts for everyone. My feelings are, I didn't feel any type of way about her until I saw the Oprah interview where she talks about how the royal family treated her poorly and how she wants to stay out of the spotlight. And I was like, that's crazy because you're in a spotlight right now. So what are we doing? And for me, from there, it's all been downhill because I'm like, the more I see of her, the less I like her. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. But it's like, she just doesn't seem like a genuine person. She says that she wants to stay out of the spotlight. And that's a lie. I'm sorry, that's a lie because all she does is put herself in there.
Well,
Woo!
the one I feel sorry about, and I still feel sorry for him, is Harry.
Yes.
Because lately, now, years ago, he brought out that spare book, okay?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
being behind his brother and
Yeah.
well, now he's behind her. I mean, even when they enter a room, she always goes first.
Tell it like it
Seriously.
is.
But he put himself there.
He
Oh,
did,
fairness.
but then there are a lot of guys who marry somebody and they put themselves there that
Right.
the person that they marry is it's all about her.
Yes.
You know,
We
there are
don't
a
know.
lot of people like that.
Guess my final thoughts.
Yes.
It's kind of funny. Before we started this episode, I had like no
Mhm.
interest in any of this.
Yeah.
And you still don't.
And now I have less interest than I did before. I feel like I've learned way more about
Okay.
this than I care to learn.
There is one other
And
thing
I'm glad
to
we're
add.
ending. No, I'm
Okay.
glad we're ending the episode right now
No, what? One other
because
thing
I'm
to
gonna
add.
throw up.
Goodbye.
The thing, and it has been checked online, not by you, but it's been checked,
Yes.
and it has come out that it is true that she's shopping for a book for when she gets a divorce.
Oh,
She's shopping already.
there's hope for him yet.
Well,
Oh, wait. I'm sorry,
don't
really
know
quickly.
if he knows this, but it is true.
We
and
can't
it's
keep
been
having other
proved.
thoughts after the final thoughts.
I know. But I was going to say this earlier and I forgot. And you'll think this is funny. Also, when the podcast that she was a guest on, one of the relatable things, she was like, this is so easy to do for your children. She was talking about how she emails them once a day to say something that happened that day. Like, oh, you did this in school, or it was so funny when you were eating your breakfast, you said this. And she just has email accounts for both of them that every single day she'll just like recap the day for both of them. And when they're 18 or whatever, she's going to give them the password to the email so
It
that they
should
can
be.
read all the diaries from their youth. It's so relatable and fun. That's it.
Now, how long do they keep old emails?
I don't know.
Don't they
Too long.
automatically delete them in
No.
the system? No? Okay.
No.
They're going to hope that they do.
They will wish they were deleted, but they will not. No.
And I'm
Ooh.
sure there's going to be more on them coming out. I did see something I haven't watched yet,
Yeah.
and I may not, that talks about child abuse.
Oh, brother.
And I honestly don't see him as a child abuser, so.
You just never know, though.
Well, now for our final thoughts.
No, that's it. I'm finished. I'm finished.
I guess I am too, so it's been nice talking to whoever is out there. Be kind with comments because I'm not being mean to anybody.
Yeah, but this is all hearsay. We don't actually know anything.
I have to go throw up.
He wanted you to know that, just in case.
All right.
You were
Have a great
wondering.
day, everyone. Have a great day.
Just talk, say something.
Hello.
Okay, but wherever you say it has to be like, okay,
like
so
you
right now
would.
you're talking about whatever, Harry and whatever her name, Meghan.
Harry and Meghan.
See, but now you were facing that and then you turned, so maybe it's better if we put this a little bit like this.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Okay, how's that sound?
I don't know.
You're supposed to be looking.
I mean, I'm looking at, well, I can tell you how it looks. It looks
Boop, boop.
fine.
How does mine look?
It looks fine.
Woo! Oh,
Hold on, say something again.
Harry and Meghan.
Okay, say Harry and Meghan.
Harry and Meghan.